How hard is it just from a fundamental standpoint to get to run a drill? I mean, is it you have to borrow bodies or get creative? Things of that nature?
You have to get real creative, and I think, to be honest, maybe I'm going at a little slower pace. When you have more bodies, you're rapid fire machine gun, and so. But the positive part of that is you can slow down and coach a little bit. Shy Tuttle's getting some detailed coaching right now, so it's all good.
And you mentioned Vickers. How about Demario moving to end? Coach Jones said on Monday he's dropped some weight, looks natural. I mean, what's the early thoughts been out there?
He's got to always. I think he's going to take him a little while mentally because it's a lot different game out there. There's a lot more responsibility for those guys, and so I think he was in doing extra work today with Coach Stewart. So I think it's a little bit more of a mental process than it is a physical. He's cut weight. He's quick. He's got good hands. All those things. I think it's more mental.
Steve, you kind of touched on these guys that are healthy are getting more detailed coaching. I guess how much different is it from a normal practice when you've got maybe 12 or more, 10 to 12 guys going through?
It's totally different, to be honest with you. And so we've made a kind of a game plan with the guys that are not participating. They stay in for 12 periods and get their lift in. And then on the off days, I spend time with those guys. So now I'm going through the install and everything with them. So it's a good schedule. Everybody's getting their attention, and but I've really never been through anything like this.
And you're just 2 days in, but Shy's a guy such a high-profile recruit. A lot of us had a chance to see him in All-Star games and whatnot. Physically, he looks better now than he did, coming in. Has he exceeded your expectations just from that standpoint?
Yes, because a lot of times young men, and it'll be the same with Khalil, is young men get away with things because they're so big and strong in high school. But what was really refreshing about Shy is as soon as he got here, we were still recruiting, and the older guys were just calling me like, I love this kid. It's just he's got this great attitude, really wants to be good. So that's really refreshing. So I think he's got a great future ahead of him.
I think it's kind of maybe he's not here yet, but Khalil seems to have that edge. Does Shy have a little bit of that edge too?
Yeah, they're a little bit different. Shy's got that kind of sneaky smile kind of attitude. Khalil's kind of vocal and outspoken, so I think they'll complement each other pretty good.
Kyle's hurt. What can he get out of spring? How much can he benefit?
Well, I think he's probably in the most difficult situation, because I can challenge Barnett to coach a younger guy. He is a younger guy and he's not participating, so I think he really has to. I challenge him every day to make sure you're locked in, and like I said, those workouts where I'm just working and talking and walking through with the non-participants are really key for him.
I'm sure you've been asked this already, but how are you just handling the fact that you don't have a lot of bodies in spring?
Well, we're going to be creative. There can be some more half-line drills rather than full-line drills, those type things. And in my drill work, just a pace that you're not. The good part of it is they're getting detailed coaching.
Right.
A lot of times we have a lot of guys you're rapid fire, you're machine gunning, and then you coach them later off film. We are actually slowing down and coaching with details. So like for Shy and Butcher and those guys, I think it's really beneficial.
How much better of a look are you getting at guys like Vickers and LaTroy Lewis than
again,
last year?
LaTroy, it's his time for LaTroy. Coach Jones challenges him all the time. So this opportunity for him to be on the ones and lead the way is great. And then you got Vickers, who hasn't, over the years had a lot of playing time, and now he's thrust in that role. So he's getting that pressure put on him. So again, there's just lots of positive things.
Mostly been able to see out of him. I know that obviously even Butch said maybe in a couple practices he'd get a look on the other side of the ball. What are you seeing from him?
We're trying to find his home. And to be honest, what really has kind of slowed us down in that whole evaluation was his injury, his accident. So actually going into spring, I wasn't sure what we would get. And so I was kind of with him. I was like, hey, you just got to lead the way. Let me know how you're doing. He's been great. He has not backed out of anything. So I think through that, then I can get a better evaluation.
How much quickness is there in him? Because I know it's probably working back into shape and things like that, but coming back from an injury like that, and he's such a big kid, but it looks like he still moves pretty well for that.
He get quickness, but his strength obviously is his size. His hand punch is phenomenal, and so his movement obviously is lacking right now, but it'll progress because a lot of it's due to his accident. and it's just a process, getting comfort and getting, being confident in his injury. So, yeah.
From a leadership standpoint, I mean, Jordan Williams not there anymore. Obviously, Kurt is not out there this spring. Is it important that an older guy, kind of steps up and says, "Hey, this is how we do things around here," or what?
Absolutely, and I think that's an advantage to what we're going through. Is that now I can put that leadership role on LaTroy Lewis. It's great that he's an older kid and can handle that. Kurt's always still there. Kurt's still the barometer in the room and all those things. So, it's great that he's there with us. I think it's good in that we're able to put that leadership role on some other guys right now. All good, guys? Thanks.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.